Hey everyone, Ridge6 here. In this video, I am going to be using my Aegis Gladius that you can see here behind me to demonstrate some things with regard to components. I'm hoping that this can be a particularly helpful video for those that are new to Star Citizen and want to learn more about how to upgrade components. Like I said, I'm going to be using the Gladius. This is my favorite little fighter. And over here I've got the components I'm going to be installing. You can get components by scavenging them, buying them from other players, buying them in shops, looting them at different places, but lots of different options. And I'd like to show you Erkul.games. Whether you're familiar with this or not, let me just give a quick overview. I've got the Gladius selected. You can click here and select whatever ship you're looking at and use this to test out different loadouts. Notice that over here on the right side it shows the DPS, the damage per second, and then the alpha damage my guns produce, the missile damage, the shield protection, it's a bubble shield, and then notice on this it also gives a whole lot of statistics about your ship. So I'm going to switch out and you can play around with different guns that would fit on this Gladius. I have some NDB 30s that I looted a long time ago and they've stuck with me through the patches. So I'm going to put these NDB 30s on, as those are a really good gun, and notice that increased my DPS and alpha a little bit. I'm going to switch the missile racks out for bomb racks in the future, but not right now. For shields, the Palisade shield produces the highest amount of shield protection, but it also has a longer downed regen time than the FR66. The FR66 is a military grade A shield, and I actually have two of those that I've looted in the past, and those have stuck with me. Those have a lower downed regen time than the Palisade, even though they produce a little bit less less shield strength than the Palisade. They are a better shield. For the power plant, I'm going to be changing from a Regulus. I don't have a JS300 right now, but I do have a Fieral Cascade. I think I also have a Dynaflux, but we'll go with the Fieral Cascade for now. And then for coolers, it comes with a bracer, military grade C as a stock component, which isn't horrible, but I do have a polar, so I'm going to switch over to a polar. And I'm only going to run one cooler for now. I'll talk more about that in a moment. My quantum drive, actually, I'm going to go with the Siren. I purchased a Siren back with the Invictus launch week earlier this year. Notice that the beacon has a speed of 190,000, but the Siren here is a little bit faster. And it's also a military grade B component, so we'll go with the Siren, as that's the best one that I have with me right now with the new patch. So yeah, that's now most of the things that I'm going with here are military components that are not actually able to be purchased. They're just lootable in different places like executive hangars. But let me change this to something that you could buy, like a Palisade. One of the features that we have here in Erkul is that you can scroll down here and see where in the different systems, and this is only in Stanton, but I can go buy this both in New Babbage or at Crew L4. So that's a way that you can know where you can buy the different components that you're looking at in different loadouts here in Erkul.games. All right, first thing first is we need to store these things. So I'm going to store the components. And then we're going to store the ship.
Welcome to the ASOP.
All right, once everything's stored, you go into your Mobi-Glass and you click on Vehicles. And then you need to select your ship. Your ship has to be stored at the location that you're in. Notice if it has a little lock symbol, your ship is not available to do this. So Gladius is stored here. So I'm going to select a Gladius. First one is the livery, the paint on the ship. And I actually do have an Invictus blue and gold paint that I like. And so I'm going to install that by simply clicking on it. And notice it says equipped. And then I just have to hit save. And now that has been equipped. I can go over here to systems and notice these are all the different components that I can change out. For coolers, right now it comes with a bracer, which is not horrible, a military grade C, but I also have a polar, like I mentioned earlier, which is a military grade B, so it's a little better. I'm going to go ahead and switch out the bracer by just simply clicking on polar. I'm going to actually unequip a second cooler because as it works right now in 4.4, coolers don't do a whole lot. But once engineering is in, likely in 4.5, coolers are going to be probably the most important component, really. So don't dismiss coolers because in the future they're going to be incredibly important. Now power plants, the Gladius comes stock with a Regulus power plant, which is certainly not horrible. It's actually a military grade C, but I'm going to switch over to either a Dynaflux or a Fieral Cascade, which is a military grade B. So let's switch that out by just clicking on it and hitting save. I'm going to come back to the quantum drive. Shield generator, like I said, it comes with all stop first, but I do have these FR66s. I do have a lot of Palisades as well. Like I mentioned a little while ago, I could go with Palisades to get a little more protection, but the FR66s actually have a stronger health point and faster regen time when down. Okay, for the quantum drive, first go over to propulsion. And with the jump module, you need to unequip the jump module first. This is required for going through wormholes, jump gates, and you need to take that off first before you go over to the quantum drive and switch that out for something else. It comes with a beacon, military grade C, but I'm going to switch it out for this siren, which is a military grade B. And once I've done that, I'm going to click save there, and then I'm going to go back to propulsion and re-equip the jump module. Super important. Don't forget to do that. Take it off first, then put it back on. Now with vehicle weapons, I eventually am going to put bombs on, but I'm missing one of my bomb racks that I need, so I'm not going to do that right now. But for the other weapons, notice right now I've got these CF337 Panther repeaters, which are actually pretty decent guns, but I have these NDB-30s, which I think are a lot better. So I'm going to switch all of my guns, even this Gatling, out for these NDB-30s. Just like this, simply clicking on my NDB-30 and then hitting save changes. And there we go. So now and then for the avionics, the computer system, I just have the standard flight blade. There are other flight blades that you can install in the Gladius, but that's all I'm going to do for now. And that's how you change your components. I hope this video was helpful, especially for those that are new to this and have never done it before. And it works the same way for any ship or vehicle. But anyways, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and follow along for more. See you out there.